Novak, congratulations on the win. I just wondered if you could tell us how you managed to look so fresh at the end of the season. What's your sort of strategy? How do you stay in this shape?
I don't know. It's probably a combination of things. I obviously, try to take care of my body throughout the entire year, and of course, as probably everyone else, I did go through some major injuries. Thankfully, not too many. And I valued always the longevity and the recovery importance in my career very much. Try to surround myself with the right people and be professional, I guess, committed with the routines daily, because I know that on a long run that pays off, and that's probably one of the reasons why I've managed to be healthy and fit, I guess, and fresh in the end of the season. But also I think because mentally, you kind of are obliged to draw that last, I guess, drop of energy that you got in order to finish the season in the best possible way. So I kind of push myself and try to create even more energy for this last couple of tournaments, and also knowing that I've done so well throughout my career in indoor courts, especially Bercy and London back to back, kind of every year gives me more motivation and confidence coming into these tournaments.
You're 6-2, 4-love up. You're playing beautifully. You then miss a couple of forehands and you start screaming at your team. Is that the perfectionist in you, or what's going through your mind when such a brilliant performance suddenly,
Yeah, well, I mean, look, yes. To answer your question simply, probably yes. Is no other reasonable explanation than trying to play as perfect as possible. But I guess that's me. Everyone is different. Throughout my career, I always intended and always tried to perfect my game, and in the midst of a battle and heat of the moment, sometimes you just get frustrated with certain things, regardless of the results. Sometimes I really don't mind the results as much as I care about the execution of certain shots or tactics or whatever it is. Yeah, that's all it is.
Novak, at some stage this week you will play Roger Federer. The last time you met was the Wimbledon final, obviously, and the British crowd were overwhelmingly in favour of Federer. You even said after the final that you were twisting the Roger chants to Novak chants. If that happens again this week, where the crowd are on his side, how will you react? And do you hope there's more respect shown towards the two opponents here at the O2?
Look, I said it after Wimbledon finals that I understand. Look, I understand why there is so much support for Roger. I mean, he is who he is and what he has achieved and the personality that he is. He deserves that. Sometimes, the crowd is on your side, majority of the crowd is on your side. Sometimes it's against you, and that's something that also throughout my career I had to learn how to handle, how to accept, and how to deal with that. So when I said that I was kind of trying to transform the chanting into Novak, when I heard Roger, I mean, that's really what I try to do. I mean, it really works mentally in this kind of moment. So it will not be anything particularly different in terms of my reaction if that happens. I mean, look, I'm going to accept it and respect it, and that's it. I'm going to try to focus on what needs to be done for me, tactically, in order to win a tennis match. And that's all it is. And obviously there's a lot of people and tennis fans that like to see us going head to head, and of course I understand that, and hopefully it's going to be a packed house and everyone will enjoy their tennis.
Novak, when you play Roger, do you think that the fact that he got himself into such a strong position in that match and wasn't able to close it out, and obviously it was a massive disappointment for him. Do you hope, or do you think there will be possibly some scarring from that Wimbledon final mentally for him?
I will not expect it, to be honest, because Roger's experience and mental strength has been almost unprecedented. You know, he's one of the greatest players ever to hold a racket, and his ability to recover after big losses and you know, cope with the pressure and tough moments on the court has been phenomenal, you know, over the years. So tons of respect for him, and I understand that, you know, regardless of the age or surface or whatever it is, and you know, when I play Roger, I know he's going to deliver his best tennis. You know, rarely he didn't deliver his best tennis when we played, and we played many times. So I don't think it's going to create some kind of a mental challenge or obstacle for him. Maybe not. I don't know. But I don't want to think about that or expect that, because you know, I want to rely on really what I do well and try to execute that.
Hi, Nole. You know that Berrettini's best stroke is probably serve and forehand. Today you broke him 5 times in a row, which is not too bad. And 6-2, you won 6-2, 6-1. Federer had beaten him 6-2, 6-1, 6-1 in Wimbledon. Do you remember when you played your first ATP finals, if you were tense, like probably we was, and what do you remember of that match? And also, do you know anything about Yannick Sinner?
I remember back in, I think it was 2007, that I played for the first time in the ATP World Tour Finals in Shanghai. I think I lost all 3 matches. In the group, I was with Nadal and Ferrer. I can't remember the 4th guy, but I was tense. I mean, I was happy that I was there, of course. I was very proud to be part of this elite 8 guys, but you know, it's in an environment which is kind of new to you, even though, you know, it's a tennis court, it's a tennis match. It's still different knowing that you're there for the first time and that you're going to play against the top 10 player every match in the group. It's a lot of pressure mentally, you know, that you have to deliver your best. Where for us guys that have been playing on the top level for many years, we have the experience and we know how to, you know, handle these kind of situations emotionally, mentally, you know. So that's why at the beginning of the match, knowing that he's probably going to feel a bit more nervous, I wanted to try to use and break the resistance very, very, very quickly, which happened in the midway first set. He missed relatively easy forehand for him that gave me break, you know, and after that I started reading his serve better, positioning myself on the court. I started moving really well, and just yeah, I mean, I'm very pleased with the way I returned, knowing how good of a server he is and how strong and fast the serve is. I mean, I'm really happy with the way I was getting most of his serves back, especially from that moment on towards the end. Sinner, yeah. I mean, congratulations to him for a win of Next Gen Finals in Milano. I saw that. It was very impressive win against De Minaur, that is, you know, finalist last year, and already, I can say, you know, experienced player, even though he's young, but he's had a great season. And for Yannick to win that comfortably, it's really impressive at home, you know, in Italy. I think Next Gen Finals tournament is a great way to launch young tennis stars, you know, in the world of tennis. So he is definitely the next star that people will look at, will follow. I know him from before. I've practiced with him more than a few times in Piatti Academy in the past several years, and He's always been very, very dedicated young man, very respectful, and he's in good hands because Ricardo is a great coach. He used to be my coach as well, so I'm sure they know what they're doing and the results are showing that.
Hi Novak. Today was the first time you played Matteo. When you have to play someone first time on the ATP Tour, how different is the preparation compared to like playing Nadal and Federer?
Well, I try to do my homework with my team. Of course, I have both tennis coaches are on this tournament with me, so we watched videos, try to collect data and do the thorough analysis of his game and prepare ourselves well. I think it's necessary to do that homework. I mean, I'm sure everyone does it, and it has worked well. Maybe it's not a guarantee that it will work well, but at least you know the patterns of play of your opponent, which helps, especially if you have never faced him before.
Novak, could you please also talk a little bit about your experiences against Dominic and also about his development on hardcourt? He has won 3 titles on hardcourt this year. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, he was mentioning earlier in the week that this has been probably his best season. Winning at home in Vienna, and of course that was a big, very important win for him. Indian Wells, we know how good of a player he is on clay, but he's been proving that he can play equally well on other surfaces, and he's already established top 5, top 10 player. We don't need to talk about his quality. His quality is great. His dedication and professionalism and hard work ethics is fantastic, and he's a really nice guy. So all positive things about him. Of his coach Nico Massoud that I've known for many years. I've played against him as well, and they're a great team, and they deserve to be here. So it's going to be interesting to see, obviously, how he. Plays against Federer tonight, and then we'll see after that.
Last English, Stuart.
Novak, you're talking about one last push earlier. I just wondered, does it feel different coming into this tournament knowing you have 2 weeks left rather than one, maybe 5 singles matches in Madrid, and also are you maybe hoping that won't be the case in future years?
Well, the part of me, of course, is kind of willing to go to holidays right after this tournament. Of course, looking forward to holidays. It's been a long season, but at the same time, part of me is excited to be back in the national team again and playing the Davis Cup. It's a different format, and as you mentioned, there is a potentially 5 days in a row for me, 5 singles matches and maybe 5 doubles matches as well. But I do feel good. I have been taking care of myself pretty well with my team, so my body has been responding positively, considering it's a final, stages and final few weeks of the year, where you tend to, maybe have a bit more pain, so to say, than at the beginning of the year. But I feel confident about my game in this tournament. I look forward to try to progress as much as I can here, and then I'll think about Madrid. Should be fun, should be exciting. I've had in the past experiences where I was really even coming injured and playing Davis Cup, and for some reason there's always this additional energy and motivation that you get when you're in the team and when you're surrounded with your friends playing for your country. It's just completely different from any other event. So I'm sure, regardless of the fact that it has been a long season and it's the last week of the year, I still will find that necessary strength in order to play well there.
Thank you. Any Serbian questions?
He was here. He left. Why did you leave?
We go back.
You going to go back? You want to do it private? Okay.